Hi everyone, this is Killshot 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 11 recap, and I'm going to throw down the gauntlet and say this is the best Walking Dead show of the year. It was incredible, had a great mix. We did the reaction video last night. Many of you agreed. I got some great comments from some of our viewers last night, also from some of our patrons. So before we jump right into it, how about a holler and a shout out and a big thank you to all of our Patreon army. You can see them right up there on the screen. Great group of people, and also the Play Dead Live sponsors up in the top right-hand corner. If you guys don't know what Play Dead Live is, tune in tonight at 9 o'clock. You'll find out. We're doing tag team matches, whole lot of fun, and join us on Friday night. So I love the battle. It was very real. This picture, I need this picture as a, I need it as like a canvas or a mural or something, because just the passion and the acting. It's funny how we did the countdown that we talked about how great each of the characters was sort of acting and playing their role. And did we not see it last night? It was unbelievable. So I do want to start out once again. Is there anybody here that rated it below a 10 last night? Let's get your thoughts and everything mixed up in the video. Let me know where you stand at it. So everybody here, you've had a day to think about it, probably watch it again. Maybe some of you might have watched it 3 or 4 times already. 1 to a 10, where do you stand with it? I just want to see where overall what the vibe is. Mine is a 10, no doubt about it. I am right there, and I'll read some of the comments from our Patreons. They were incredible. Lynn says, love the episode, but your friend didn't like it. Interesting difference of opinion. Tammy Hill said 10, Valerie 10, Heart of Nixie just below a 10, Miss the Ninja with a 10. Ecom, Land of Lincoln, Phyllis, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just going to round everybody up. Everybody below a 10, I'm just going to round it up to a 10. All right, here's a couple of comments we had from our Patreons. And if you guys get your comments included in today's video, there's going to be a whole lot of people watching this recap. So, yeah, get some good, strong comments in there. So, Anissa Wallace said, yes, I agree it's perfect 10. Judith and Daryl's heart-to-heart, Carol's conversation with Lydia, Ezekiel and Daryl's conversation, Rosita and Eugene, then lastly, the fire ending. And I guess that's what I liked about it so much is it seemed to have a lot of closure. And usually when there's a lot of closure, it means there's a lot of death, right? You had Ezekiel and Daryl having that great conversation. Then you had Judith as well. Then you had Lydia and Carol. So, did you guys get a chance to see the sneak peek of next week with all the burnt bodies in Hilltop, and one of them's crawling, and Negan goes over and whacks him with the bat? Do we think that might be somebody? Because they do have leg armor on. I know it's not Alden, but it is somebody that is wearing leg armor. Now that might be half the group at this point. But Negan is almost putting them out of their misery, I guess. You know, it looked a little, I mean, I guess it could have been Earl. I think Earl's going to die. But there's also that one scene where Gamma's looking up. So, is that Negan? Did Negan capture Gamma? Does he have the bat? They're doing this mini cliffhanger to get us all guessing. And it's working. It's definitely working. Valar says, hello, 999 Army Kills, great mods, channel members, Patreons, PDLs, players, sponsors, all super chats, and definitely our super sticker posters. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Valar. And looking forward to seeing some tag team matches in the near future. So, check this out. This is our very own Sheila Beasley. She says that she originally gave it a 9.5, like many of you. But she watched it again and watched Talking Dead and said, nope, no doubt it was a 10. It was a perfect episode. Great balance of action, suspense, drama. Loved all the heart-to-hearts. So that seemed to be something that a lot of the people liked is, on Fear the Walking Dead, their heart-to-hearts become speeches, right? So on The Walking Dead, they don't get that elaborate. They just kind of stick to the point. So I guess Fear the Walking Dead could probably take a page out of the Walking Dead's book. We got Ouchie. Thank you so much. Just found your channel. I like it a lot. Cheers. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. And we got a great group of people. So, well, Dimes is, Dimes saying Negan is leading Alpha into a trap. I don't know. I'm not. See, Tammy, I'm not willing to bet on that right now. Because I see you guys like every week and you're just head over heels. Like there's no way Negan can do anything wrong right now. And I got to tell you, the biggest shock would be if he doesn't lead her to a trap. Because he's already given up Gamma. I mean, there's some things going on that are a little bit shady. And I know everybody thinks, okay, it's eventually going to happen. It's eventually going to happen. And it might happen next week. That could be the big turnaround. But then my question is, what if it's not? Look at what we know. And I know, some people think, okay, well, and Ben and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. Ben's got a theory that maybe Carroll let Negan out. And I don't have a problem with Ben's theory, except for the fact that now I got to forget, and look, it won't be the first time that something like this has happened. But if Carroll did let Negan out, what if Carroll and Daryl and all of them would have died in the cave? This is the problem I have with some of if they go after the fact and, look, maybe in episode 16 they high five and Carol's like, hey, I'm glad I trusted you, Negan. You came through in the end. But they were all supposed to die in that cave. There was no escape plan to that. There were walkers in there, and those walkers were going to eat them. So that's a very risky play, isn't it? For him to... There's some things that I have a problem with right now. So I don't know if what we think is going to happen. I'm going to go back to what Ben said last night. And I think it's very, very powerful is if you didn't know what Negan does in the comics, would you even trust him the slightest little bit? And I think most people, the answer would be no. So what is in the shed? Well, could be Carol. Could be Gamma. Could be Lydia. Could be nothing. Maybe he's going to go in and cut her head off, like in the comics. Or maybe Carol is in the shed and then they team up and they kill Alpha. All of that's possible. But I also think that, well, see, Breadhead, that's the problem, isn't it? It's so predictable. If everybody thinks that he's going to walk Alpha to the shed and kill Alpha, then it's way too obvious. That's why I want to see something different play out. You either have one of two trains of thought with this. You either want him to kill Alpha because it's time she dies, or you want to be surprised by it. And that's kind of the two camps right now, right? It's a lot of people saying, it's definitely going to happen. I'll bet you it's going to happen. This is the way it's going to happen. Well, you're holding on to that hope. And then there's those of us saying, all right, well, give me another week. Maybe it'll be a little bit different. Maybe they'll shock us. All I know is what I see. And what I've seen so far, Negan gave up Gamma. Negan tried to convince Alpha to get him to join. Negan likely cut down the trees to keep people from escaping. Okay, if Negan cut down the trees and one person in Hilltop died, is Negan responsible for that person dying? So if Earl is dead, or if Jerry's dead, or somebody else is dead, so Michael Myers, why would you not think that Negan cut the trees? Daryl said Negan cut the trees. And that's exactly what Negan did the last time. So why would you not think that it's Negan's plan? Yeah, Kel, I get that. Like, well, they didn't show us Negan shooting the arrow, but they're not going to go back and show us what really happened to the arrow. They're not going to go back and show us who really cut the trees down. I mean, there's a certain amount that you got to take into play. What, Jim, was it a signal? Hell no, it wasn't a signal. They were trying to leave. They were trying to get out of town. They gave up. They were running. So those trees prevented them from leaving. It caused people to die. Why not just let them leave? They don't want to fight you. They're running to Oceanside. They're taking the kids to Oceanside. Cutting down those trees trapped everybody there. Everybody that died because they couldn't escape. So when we go next week and we find all the burned bodies and whoever Negan put out of their misery, all those things, they couldn't escape. Right, Ecom? I mean, now maybe that's the breaking point. Maybe he didn't know Judith was there. I can give you that, okay? But we don't know that yet. So I certainly will say, look, do I think there's a chance that next week Negan could change, or the week after he could change based on, well, I didn't know Judith was there. That changes the whole dynamic, right? Well, it was Negan that cut down the trees. You know how I know? Because Daryl said it. Who's going to question Daryl? This was Negan. He's with them now. I don't care if some bitch cut down the trees. It was Daryl said Negan did it. I trust Daryl. I believe in Daryl. Okay, who do you guys trust more? Daryl or Negan? If you have to choose, who's the more trustworthy character? Daryl. And Daryl said Negan did it, so I believe him. Daryl's a tracker. He probably smelled Negan's scent on those trees. Bamber Kitty super chatting says, did anyone notice the shot of Judith from behind before and after talking to Daryl? It seemed very profound and perhaps meaningful of the future. I think everything in that conversation with Judith and Daryl, Bamber Kitty, was very profound. I think what she said, I think the body language, I think the symbolism of the wing and repairing the wing. You know, there was a lot, both visually and I think from the dialogue, that we could probably break down every single scene. The Lydia Carroll scene was amazing. The camera shots. I mean, the camera shots, I agree with you, from Judith's perspective and in Daryl's perspective back and forth. But even the picture we have up there on the screen, I mean, look at the symbolism and Daryl going to the forefront. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think that they got a sap remover. So when I saw all those bodies to me didn't just look like walker bodies. So what do you guys think the over-under is? People She said we had a few dozen people. She said we had a few dozen fighters. So can we safely say they probably lost 10? What do you guys think? Diana said a few dozen fighters. That's 36 to 40. So out of 36 to 40, is it possible that about 10 of them might be dead? Well, Jennifer, some of them were the walkers. I mean, remember, some of the walkers that you see right there, those bodies will be theirs. So there might be 100 that are dead, and 80 could be burnt up walkers. 10 to 20 could be our people. Well, Dad Shred, it's a good point. What does the show do with Negan? He's bad and won't change. What's the end game plot point with him? I don't know. And that's why I will go back and say I'm not saying it's impossible for him to be the hero, but he's a hero with an asterisk. Like Barry Bonds hit a lot of home runs. Every one of those home runs he hit, if you guys are not baseball fans, it went over the fence. But there's always going to be an asterisk beside his name. And I think even if Negan does do something phenomenal, there's always going to be that what if. Now, was it kind of a hidden clue that the picture of Glenn was there? And that Daryl was out by the grave? You know, you could probably say, now if something comes of it, they could say, well, okay, Carroll let Negan out and had something to do with Glenn. I don't know that. I just feel like they wanted to put us in the mood and in the moment and said, Hilltop is gone. There is no Hilltop anymore. Now, comic fans, because you guys know where I'm at in the comic. So correct me if I'm wrong, but in the comic book, Alexandria falls, is that correct? And everybody moves to Hilltop to defend Hilltop. Some of you are further along than I am. So I just want to I want to clarify that fact. Okay. So if that's the way it goes down, why are we so hell-bent in saying that the story has to play out the way the comic plays out? Because clearly they deviate, and they've deviated quite a bit already with Michonne and with Rick, and with there is no Daryl. So the Negan and Alpha scene, yes, certainly is probably one of the most iconic moments in the comic. But just everything that Negan's doing right now feels really, really sketchy. So I'm going to go back to somebody else's point. Dead Shred said a minute ago, what is the what is the end game with Negan? So I'm going to ask you guys, what is the end game with Negan? He didn't leave. He appears to be killing or an accomplice to as much death Did he have to become one of the Whisperers? Or could he have helped fight? And I don't want to go back in a stream 3 weeks from now. It's not going to be an I told you so moment. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying that it's not a slam dunk. It's very interesting how they're leaving us on the edge, and here we are in a recap, and of all the great things that happened, we're thinking like, well, what is Negan's next move? So I'm going to ask you, what is in the shed? Is it Carroll? Is it Gamma? I mean, that's pretty much what she wanted, right? Well, that narrows it down, right? Land of Lincoln said, well, it's Gamma, Carroll, or Lydia. Well, okay, I get that. It probably is one of the three. But it ain't going to be all three, so I think it's where that's where you kind of got to decide what you think the next move is. Or is it nothing? Or is it somebody that is in tandem with Negan and they're going to kill Alpha? So, would I be surprised next week if Negan goes out to the shed and Carol's there and the two of them kill Alpha? No, I wouldn't. Because at some point, we got to end this war, right? And episode 12 seems like it could be a good turning point. So, I don't know. Maybe Negan does find a way to kill Alpha next week, and then Beta goes berserk. Alpha dies in episode 12, then Michonne. Let's think about the totality of the season and the time frame. That's what we do sometimes. We funnel it down. So if Alpha dies next week, then they give us 2 weeks to think about it. So that would be 12. Then Michonne's last episode is 13. Then we basically have 3 episodes left. 14, 15, 16. Is there enough that could take place in those 3 episodes? So, at some point, and, all right, this is a strong rumor. It's not a confirmed spoiler. So I know a lot of you guys don't like spoilers. So I want to give a warning before I do this, because if I funnel, it's going to get a little bit crazy. So I need to give you guys a warning. If you don't want a strong rumor that could turn into a potential spoiler, I'm going to ask you to step away for a little bit, because I'm kind of thinking out loud. But I think I might kind of have a little bit of this figured out with the time frame. Because what I'm missing here is I'm missing 1 episode. And like I said, it's a rumor, but based on what I heard last night, it makes sense. So we don't know what happens next week, but it looks like Negan could kill Alpha. All right? Then for a long time we've been hearing around episode 13 is Michonne's last episode. So if Alpha dies next week, and then because the war does have to end, and then Michonne leaves in 13, what happens in 14? So the strong rumor that I heard was that Eugene, Yumiko, and Ezekiel go to meet up with Stephanie from the Commonwealth. So they're likely not going to go meet up with Stephanie from the Commonwealth if they're dead, right? I mean, doesn't it make a little bit of sense? So, and then, and I know some information, so I'm not going to go full blown into it. 15 would be where Beta regroups and goes ballistic to sort of end everybody. And then 16 is likely where Eugene comes back with some people from the Commonwealth and they save the day at the end of the season. So that's the way I think it's going to play out. Like I said, I'm going with 3 different sources. So one is stuff that I know is confirmed, one is stuff that is rumored, and one is stuff that I'm speculating. So I'm going to not tell you any of the stuff that I know is confirmed, but I will say the stuff that's out there that makes sense from the time frame. So based on that, it is very possible that Alpha could die this week. Somebody major will die this week. And then I think they're going to skip over. I find it hard to believe that in 2 weeks it'll be Alpha and Beta both dying. I think it's more likely that Alpha dies and then Beta reacts to it. And then we get a little bit more of the finality of the war. You know, kind of like they have the upper hand, then we get a little bit of the upper hand, and then we got to tell the Michonne story, and then Beta goes ballistic, and then they get the upper hand again, and then it's all dire straits, and then the Commonwealth shows up and saves the group. So that's the way I think kind of the, a little bit of the season is going to play out. We'll see. I know a couple things, but I'm not going to say no. Stephanie is not Maggie. Stephanie is a actress that is confirmed. Somebody posted on our fan page. There's actually a picture of her, of the actress that plays Stephanie. It's out there. So, no, it's not. Well, you got that too, right? So Dead Shred says, what about Magna and Connie? I still think they're kind of dead. But I just got this feeling I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how long they're going to be on lockdown. Yeah, I don't want to do a bold prediction on that one yet. That could still go either way. You know, they could make it a real sad, tear-jerking moment where, you know, they're gone and you have some final words with them, or they can make it like a heroic save the day. I mean, there's nothing to lean one way or the other. It's just, it's what you feel at this point. I wouldn't be shocked by either example, to be honest with you. Really? Dimes, you're killing me, man, with this Negan heroes. So Negan is going to, you might as well just put some red Speedos on him, give him a cape, and let him fly around and save Morgan, too. So the same Negan that just cut down the trees, blocked all the kids in Hilltop, burnt down Hilltop, is going to suddenly kill Alpha, go save Connie and Magna, and then he's going to cure cancer. You know what? There it is. Negan is going to cure Ezekiel's cancer as well before the end of the season. Write it down. It's going to happen. Tom Ferreira, my predictions. Negan kills Alpha. Beta freaks out, and someone either gets killed by him in some way, Gabriel, and Andrea's death from the comic. I agree with that, Tom. I think that's probably the most likely scenario, is that Alpha dies. I don't know that Negan kills Alpha. I do like the idea of Carol. I like the idea of Carol being in the shed and Negan luring Alpha to the shed and Carol getting the kill. I like that. And then Beta gets word of it, or they see Alpha's head somewhere, and Beta goes freaking nuts and just starts rampaging people. And other people die. I think that would give you a little bit of both. But I think it's more likely that Carol kills Alpha than Negan. I think they will deviate from the comic in that regard. I think it has to be Carol at this point. She's talked about it. She keeps talking about the recklessness. She told Lydia she was going to do it. I mean, you don't talk about it this much and not do it. Unless you're Rick. You know, he told Negan, not today, not tomorrow. I'm going to kill you. I mean, he told him over and over again, and it still hasn't happened. Maybe Rick will show back up and kill Negan too. He's a dead man walking. All right, everybody. Hey, it is 8:01. We're about 30 minutes in. I was going to do a full recap, but it's like we're more interested in what's going to happen next week. So here's what's going to happen is 9 o'clock tonight, we are going to do we're going to play our game, Play Dead Live. So if you guys want to check that out, join us at 9 o'clock. I will be taking tomorrow night off. So it's going to be my second day off since January 1st. So I think it's due. We've been doing some really, really marathon type of streams. So I will not be streaming tomorrow. Enjoy your Tuesday evening. Wednesday, I will be back here doing double shots again. We will do our bold predictions on Wednesday night, and then we'll have PDL as well. Thursday night, we'll do spoilers, and then Friday night, we'll be doing our third chapter of Play Dead Live, which is called Crypts and Catacombs. So thanks for everything that you guys do. Do me a favor. Hey, if you guys like what we do, give this video a thumbs up. I do have about 2 more minutes, so if you guys want to give me some 999s in chat, I would be more than happy to shout out each and every one of you I can possibly shout out in about 120 seconds. So let's show a little bit of love and show everybody what the 999 Army is all about. We game together. We talk about The Walking Dead together. We do funnels. We predict. We play trivia together. We do it all, man. So thanks, you guys, for tuning in. Dead Shred, appreciate you being here. Gina Rocket Crockett, Breadhead, Sheila B. What's up, Beastly? Walani, Julia Drums, thank you. Good to see you. Jason Moonshot Phillips, MS. Miss the Ninja, Donnie D-Train in the house. Jennifer Wright, thanks for being here live, Jennifer. Valar, Game Over, appreciate you. Tom Bug Ferreira, Ragman Racing, Heart of Nixie, Land of Lincoln, Lisa E. Cheryl Churl, Tuck, good to see you. Ecom, my man, always a pleasure. June Smith, DeMilo Young, thank you. Chuck Messenger, Diana C., Edwin Gonzalez, Alchie, thank you. Appreciate you watching. Glad you got a chance to tune in. You found us. Rick Grimes, good to see you. Oh, man, ton of people here. Ton of people. Appreciate all you guys showing up. Lynn Nesbitt, good to see you. Singer Chick, thank you, Singer Chick. Amanda T. What's up, Amanda? Good to see you. Northside Queen. All my moderators. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Julia. Ben the Tin Man. Tommy the Tank. And Kel. Moderators do a great job. There's the Football Master. Good to see you, Football Master Phyllis. 2284. Brenda Vickers. Thank you, Brenda. Ann Smith. Thank you, Anna. Awesome, awesome group of people. Appreciate hanging out with you guys. Busy Bee, good to see you. If I missed you in a shout out, Rebecca Mendez. Wow, so many familiar names. You guys have been through hundreds of these streams, and we just grow bigger and bigger every single year. Principled Libertarian, thank you. Appreciate you being here. And the mods do a great job, don't they? And how about, really quick, Green Team, can you guys do me a favor? We got 4 super fans, 5. It's the Rainick family. So how about flashing the emojis really quick for Deadly Dimes, Bonnie Wright, Father Ron, and also Chris and Darlene Rainig, the Rainig family. Thank you so much. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I will see many of you at 9 o'clock for a little bit of gaming, Play Dead Live, and the rest of you I will see Wednesday night for our bold predictions. It is one of our best Walking Dead shows that we do. It's where we really kind of get into what is going to happen in the future. Thanks for everything you guys do. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.